القرآن كلام الباري أنزل للهادي المختار في ليلة قدر تتلألأ فيها الدنيا بالأنوار.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. صدق الله العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The race of the richest distracts you until you visit graves, but no, indeed, you shall soon know. Again, no, indeed, you shall soon know. No, indeed, were you to know with the knowledge of certainty. You shall certainly see hellfire. Again, you shall see it with the eye of certainty. Then on that day, you shall be questioned about the blessings. Thank you.
صدق رسول الله.
عن عبد الله بن عمر قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن ارحموا من في الأرض يرحمكم من في السماء.
Abdullah bin Amr, may Allah be pleased with him, is reported to have said that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, said, those who are merciful will be shown mercy by the most merciful. Be merciful to those on earth, and you will be shown mercy by the one in heaven. Thank you.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, everyone.
My name is Nandini.
And my name is Gaurav.
And today we're going to be presenting a poster about sustainability.
And the ways to conserve it.
Sustainability is meeting our needs without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet theirs.
The ways to adapt to sustainability are by using the 3 R's, by minimizing the use of non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum, and to adapt and innovate.
In essence, sustainability is making decisions that protect our planet and ensure a better future for us all.
Sustainability aims to balance ecological human, economic health and vitality.
And to think about the long-term consequences of excessive resource use.
So let's act now for a better future.
Thank you.
Good morning, my friends. My name is Jashwan. I'm from 6B. So today I'm going to explain you how to maintain sustainability of life on Earth. We know that our planet is a green planet and it is surrounded by 29% of land and 71% of water. So the objectives of my project are, in this project I'm going to test the soil samples from a garden. I will also study the biodiversity of the garden through this project. I will conclude how my project test the pH value of the soil composition, and from this we can find out the results of our test. After this, I will conclude it through ways we can change the soil according to the need. So, first the activity to test the soil composition. Dig down and grab a handful of soil. Put the soil into a jar till it's half and fill the jar to the top with water and add 3 tablespoons of dishwashing liquid. Then close the lid tightly and shake the jar. Settle the jar down without disturbing it. Look for large particles of sand which should settle at the bottom of this jar after 2 to 3 minutes. Mark the top layer of this layer with a pen or with a tape. So we can see here is the sand. So next, wait for 2 to 3 hours. Look for a layer of small silt particles which should settle above the sand layer. Mark the top of this layer so we can see the silt layer here. And wait for 3 days and look at the jar again. The water should be very clear now and look for a small layer of the particles which are clay which will be settled above the silt. Mark the top of this layer. We can see the clay layer here. After this experiment, I had the conclusion that here we can see the clay layer, the silt and the sand layer. The sand layer are the larger particles. So, now we are going to see for the pH value. Activity to test the pH value of the soil. So, dig a handful of soil from the garden. Place equal amounts into 2 separate containers. Add 1/2 cup of vinegar to the soil and check for a reaction. If the soil fizzes, your soil is likely alkaline or base, has a pH value of 7 to 8. If it still doesn't fizzes, then take another sample and add 1/2 cup of baking soda. If the soil fizzes, your soil is likely acidic and has a pH value of 5 to 6. So now let's have an experiment. So here you can see soil with water. So first we are going to check if it's alkaline. So this is vinegar and we are going to pour it into this soil. So we can see here fizzing in the soil. We can add more vinegar. And it means that now the soil here is alkaline or base. So now after this, we will check the soil if it is acidic. So we'll add some more soil to the container. We'll add some water to it. Okay. Now we are going to take some more baking soda and then we'll add it to it and we will shake it. Now you can see that the soil fizzes more than the earlier. So if the soil fizzes more than the earlier, it means that the soil is acidic. If the soil was alkaline, it would have not fizzed by now. So by this I can conclude that soil should be acidic for better plant growth. And thank you my friends.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hamza Ibrahim.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amna.
Did you know that there are many Muslims who are unaware of the prominent Sahabis who did so much for Islam?
No. Can you please tell us more?
Sure, I can talk about Abu Ayyub al-Ansari.
Why Abu Ayyub al-Ansari?
Because he did so much for Islam. The Prophet ﷺ met Abu Ayyub al-Ansari when he was migrating from Makkah to Medina. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari was one hosting the Prophet ﷺ when he arrived in Medina. Abu Ayyub radiallahu anhu was then born in Medina to Hijaz Asqal bin Zayd of the Najjar family of Banu Khazraj. As Abu Ayyub radiallahu anhu was the head of his family, he was one of the chosen elders of Medina who went to the Valley of Aqaba and pledged allegiance to Islam at the hand of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
What else did he do for Islam?
He did many, many things for Islam. One of them was he was a waqf of the Al-Masjid al-Nabawi. The land of Al-Masjid al-Nabawi belonged to two orphans, Suhal and Suhail, and when they found out that the Prophet ﷺ wished to acquire the land to build a mosque, they personally went to him and offered the land to him as a gift. But the Prophet ﷺ humbly insisted on paying, as they were orphan children. The ultimately agreed purchase price was then paid by Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, who then became the waqf of the creator of a charitable endowment of the Al-Masjid al-Nabawi.
What does waqf mean?
Waqf means the creator of Al-Masjid, the creator of a charitable endowment.
Okay.
In addition to that, he radiallahu ta'ala anhu also initially presented the first floor to the Holy Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But keeping in mind the ease for his visitors, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam decided to choose the ground floor. As earthen water pots were broken from the first floor, he radiallahu ta'ala anhu wiped the wet floor with his quilt immediately.
The only quilt available in the house now had become wet. He faced extreme cold the entire night. But he did not accept the fact that the water should flow down to the ground floor and harm the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in any way. Sirat ibn Hisham.
Amazing. But what moral lesson do we get from this?
That's a good question, Amna. The Sahaba showed respect and admiration to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is the moral.
And just like the Sahabas and the Prophets, we should sacrifice things for the sake of Allah, just as they did in their time.
I agree. Assalamu alaikum Hamza Ibrahim.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
محمدا حبا تهيم به القلوب وتخفق في كل حين أستلم